So with everything going on in the world today, it has me thinking, is the next generation going to be doomed? And are their kids going to be doomed and further on? And I say that because when I think about Gen A, the only thing that comes to mind is I kind of feel like they're kind of cooked in a way. And when I say cooked, I mean like not really doomed, like the entire generation is doomed, but I feel like they're going to have to face different hardships compared to, the generation that I'm in, Gen Z, or the generation before that, and before that. And I kind of understand that every generation's going to have their set of problems, and everyone's going to go through all different types of problems. Not every generation's going to go through the same problems. So I understand it from that point of view, in that sense. But I just feel like, in a way, Gen A is basically doomed because I have a little cousin. I think she just turned like 10 or something, 10 or 11. And, this little girl, she's always on a laptop. She's never out of her room. She's very antisocial. And I'm not sure if this is like COVID's fault or whatever that kind of just implemented the whole super antisocial, I'm going to stay in my room and sit on a device all day, or but it's become this trend where, I mean, I kind of see this in all kids, and it's really like, and it kind of scares me because growing up for me, like I was always outside, and my whole generation was kind of growing up with the whole advancement of technology, where the generation after us is kind of, they've already grown up, they're growing up with technology kind of already at its best. And I'm also concerned because, like, I was talking with my sister the other day, and she was telling me that her average screen time on her phone is like 7 to 8 hours, which to me is like mind blowing, that you can sit on your phone for 7 to 8 hours, like just on a normal basis. And this is day in, day out. And then she proceeded to tell me, like, oh, usually it's higher. Like, usually this is higher. Like if it was normal, like if it was something normal to her, which is, to me it's a big concern, because for you to be on your phone that long, you're not really making money, or just for you to be that close to your phone for that long, it's really bad. There's a whole, like, I can go on and on about how bad that is, and I feel like we all know being on your phone or just being on a device that long is pretty bad. It's super excessive, very unhealthy. Not only that, but I feel like I've noticed not only like my own personal things, but I've also seen that like a lot of kids right now, their attention spans are super low. Everyone's used to scrolling on their phone, skipping reels, within 5 to 10 seconds. A lot of kids just don't really pay attention. They can't really sit still that long, and that's also pretty, like pretty unhealthy, I would say. A lot of them just brain rot, which is super bad, because for you to be brain rotting all day, you're gonna face some academic and behavioral struggles. I feel like that may not be the case for everyone. And a lot of them, like I said, a lot of them are hooked in their room, either on an Xbox, on a tablet, a computer. A lot of kids are super isolated nowadays, where compared to like when I was growing up and when my parents were growing up and their parents, everyone was basically outside. Everyone was, trying to make friends, finding hobbies, finding things to do. Nowadays you have a freaking laptop and you can do endless amount of things and just get lost in the whole world of whatever the internet has to offer, and that's pretty much your whole entire day. It's kind of crazy to think about what the next generation is going to have to face and what the next generation is going to be. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm just shitting on Gen A and I lost hope and I feel like they're not going to be able to amount to anything. But if you guys made it this far, comment internet. Let me know what you guys think. Is Generation A cooked or not? Let me know. And I want to thank everybody for the support and love I've been getting on my recent videos. One of my videos broke over almost 3,000 views. I had a lot of comments. That was my most viewed video so far to this day. So I want to thank everybody for clicking on the video, watching it, leaving a like, commenting, supporting, all that good stuff. Until next time, peace.